Hello and welcome to Mastering Microsoft Excel video series. This is video number 15 where we're going to talk about consolidating unstructured data. Now, in the last video, we talked about consolidating structured data. This video, we're going to talk about unstructured data. Unstructured means the layout will keep changing and the values will also keep changing. For the people who are directly joining us in this video, consolidation means summarizing multiple tables into a single output table. So let's go ahead and check it out how to do this in Excel when you have a different layout each month and you want to summarize them into a single output table. Now, for this video, the example we are taking up is this is the data which we have used in the last video, but I've made a couple of changes. The structure is not the same. You could see the arrangement of the headers are not same across the month. Certain continents are there, certain continents are not there in certain months, and certain categories are there, certain categories are not there in few months, and the arrangement of the categories are not same, arrangement of the headings are not same. So completely unstructured we have. How do you consolidate such a data set? So let us see. We need to go ahead and find it out. What's the best tool to get the work done? So the tool we are going to use to handle the unstructured data consolidation is called Consolidate. Where is this tool? This tool is available in the data tab and it is under the data tools group, and here we have the Consolidate. Before you go to that tool, the discipline which you have to take care is make sure that you are in the right place where you need the consolidation output to come in. Make sure you have enough free space to accommodate the consolidated values, because if you do not have free space, it will override the data which was already there in that space, and Control Z sometimes will not work if you, in case if it happens something like that. So be cautious. If you're doing it across the files, keep the files open and keep your consolidation file also open, and then you start the process from the file where you want the final output to be populated. So I want the consolidation to come in the consolidated sheet. I want the consolidation to start from A1 cell. I'm in the right place, so I'm going to start the process. So we are in the data tab, we are in the data tools group. Let's go ahead and click on the consolidate. So when you click, the dialog box opens up. Let's try to understand this dialog box quickly. The first question it's going to ask you is, what do you want to do with the numbers of your tables? So we need the summarization total. So we're going to leave it in sum, but you could choose other summarization functionalities to be performed on the numbers of your tables. But I'm going to leave it in sum. The next box where it is asking you reference, where it is literally asking you to select your data one by one. And then every time when you select each data set, you need to click add so that the data set will be loaded for the consolidation. The browse button here indicates that the individual data set can also come from different Excel files as well. So what I would suggest you to have those files open and then you start the process rather than relying on browse button and opening the file and then selecting the data. It will be better if you go by keeping the files open and then start selecting them. In our case, the individual data sets are not in different files, it's in the same file, but we have kept it in different worksheets. So let's click inside this box. Where is the first data for us? Is the January data. We are going to select right from the heading till the last cell which contains the data. Headings are very crucial for our process, so please make sure you select with the heading. So once I selected right from the first heading till the last value, I'm going to click on add. So I'm telling this is the first data which I'm loading for the consolidation. Now what's the next data? February. So let's go to February sheet. Do not trust the existing dotted lines because this is based on the previous selection what you did. So you need to select each data set right from the start till the end manually every time. So click on the first cell where the data is starting and go up to the last cell and add. So likewise, we need to do this right from the first data sheet till the last data sheet, like what I'm doing, whether it is between the files or between the sheets. This is the process which you have to go through. So please make sure that you do very slowly and have a confirmation somewhere that yes, you have selected those data sets, because as and when you select these individual data sets, I'll show you there is something which you have to keep in mind, because here, if you could see this list which has got populated as and when we selected, the sheet names are not in the same order what I have it in the file. The sheet names are in alphabetical order. So when you take it across the files, it will go with the file name. So be cautious. It will not show you in the way, in the order of selection. It is showing you in alphabetical order of the area where the data is coming from. So once you selected all the data sets, activate these two boxes which are very crucial, because what is meant by top row, in all the data set in the top row you got headers. So you're telling the tool, hey, when you take a value from any table, match the header. Okay, left column, when you activate, the left column was containing categories in our case. So you're telling the tool, when you take any value from any table to summarize with the next table or cumulatively add with the next table, please make sure you match the category in the left column, match the heading in the top row. Only when you find two match, then you add them cumulatively, else you present them as a different entity for me. So that what these two checkboxes means. What is the third checkbox? To create a link with the data source, which we'll understand once we complete this process. Right now I'm not going to activate it. I'm going to click OK, and there it comes. We got the final result. Okay, so all the data are added across the tables. Whether you do it between the sheets or between the files, it will get done just like that without any problem. But remember, all these magics are working because of these two checkboxes which you activated it. So I told you that I'll tell you after some time what is this boxes really means, which says create links to source data. Let me show you here. Look at the result of the consolidate here. It's not a formula, it's the value. So why do I say this one is, after you completed the consolidation using the consolidate, if any of your friend or colleague or yourself, when you go and change any of the value in the in between tables or any table, it will not be updating in the consolidated sheet, as there is no link through any formulas or any kind of references. These are raw values or finished values. In case if you want to have such a connectivity between the source and your final destination, you can activate the third box, but you need to be ready to compromise on the look and feel of your report. You might not see the same way as we are looking at. You might see a different thing when you activate it. Let me show you that. So this is one result. Okay, so I'm going to keep it in the next. Okay, so probably I'll do it somewhere here, just below this. Okay, I'm going to keep it over here. I'm going to go back to consolidate again. The good thing, the selection will be there for us. You don't have to select because you're going to consolidate again in a different place, but in a different sheet means you definitely have to do it. Watch it. When I click a new sheet and I go to consolidate, it won't be there. So the selections will be remembered in that sheet where you already did the consolidation. Okay, so I'm going to go back to consolidate now. Our selections are already there, so a lot of efforts are saved. All I'm going to activate this time is this third box which says create links to the source data. Just give me a minute. Let me do it somewhere here so we don't disturb anything here. Okay, so I'm going to do it from H29. Okay, so let's go to consolidate, activate the third checkbox and click OK. You will understand why did I do that. Okay, first thing, we started from H29, but watch when I expand it, there is an extra column which is completely empty. Okay, but it has populated from we actually clicked on H29, but the first point is shown from 38. So between 29 and 38, I'm not seeing anything. There are something hidden. Remember these plus signs, when you guys learned about subtotal. Okay, so we call these plus signs as data outlines. So the data outlines has come in. Let's click on this plus sign to understand what is this plus sign is actually. So when I click the plus sign here, what do I see in that empty column is nothing but the file name from where the value traveled actually. Okay, Because we took it from the same file, it is showing you the same file name, but if you have taken it across different files, it will show you different file names. So this will help when you're trying to validate where the value came from. Example, if I want to know where this 11,246 came from, so when I double click on it, you can see it tells me that it has come from April sheet B2. That's where it has come from. And I'm seeing, okay, February sheet, this value has traveled from. So here we don't have anything. So Jan we have, July we have, June we have, March we have. So May, June, July we have, April we have. So what is missing is August month. So that means there is no data for the August for the bonds and deposits. That's what it says. Watch it. Bonds and deposits, no data for which one? Europe. Is it right? Yes, for Europe, we don't have any data for bonds and deposit, and that's why we don't have a value. So it's very easy to validate it, but the only thing which you have to be ready to forego or compromise is the look and feel of the report, still living with these outlines and still living with these empty columns. But this time, these are formulas. So after consolidation, if you change any of the values in your data set, it will update in the consolidated. When I say changes, existing values you can change, but you cannot insert a row or insert a column, delete a row or delete a column. It will completely mess up your consolidated report. So be careful on that. When we say changes, we're talking about existing value changes, not the structural change. All right, so that is bringing us to the end of the video. How do we consolidate unstructured data, and how do I use consolidate? What are those three checkboxes? So what I have to take care when I'm activating this consolidate tool. Yeah, so all those we have discussed. So use the file in the description section, practice it and see are you able to do this successfully. We will meet up in the next video with another interesting input. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.